Hi everyone, I'm Kate O'Riordan, a nutritional therapist, chronic fatigue recoverer and creator of the 12-week fatigue fighting program. So today I'm going to be speaking about what is the cost of being tired. So many sort of women, I know so many of my clients just feel burnt out. They may be, working full time, but also looking after children or grandchildren, and they have to do the housework as well and cook, and it's just very overwhelming and stressful, and they end up just feeling too exhausted to do things to look after themselves, and just to do things that they enjoy and have a good quality of life. So I want to talk about what the actual cost of being tired is. So there are different types of fatigue. So there's the type of fatigue that I just mentioned, where you're still able to work and function, but you're sort of losing out on a quality of life. You might be missing out on social events. You might even end up losing friends because you keep cancelling because you just don't have the energy, in the evenings or weekends to see them. And you're just putting all your energy into just getting through the day, really, getting through the working day. You may be someone who comes home, just collapses on the sofa, you're exhausted, just puts the telly on and puts something quick, in the oven for dinner because you don't have the energy to stand up and, cook healthy meals. You might, just feel like you just want to come home and go to bed because you're just so exhausted. But then, even if you slept through the night, you feel like you wake up and you're not feeling rested and refreshed. And it's just like a negative cycle that continues with you, waking up feeling exhausted, perhaps having an afternoon energy slump, reaching for like biscuits and cakes. Perhaps you have sugar cravings, and then getting home exhausted, doing what you need to go to bed, and it's just nowhere to live, really. You're missing out on so much enjoyment. Perhaps you might be losing time spent with your children or grandchildren because perhaps you just don't have energy at the weekends. You're just trying to recover for the next working week, and feel like you're losing out on that time with them, time with family and friends. And that's something that's invaluable, really, especially with children. You can't get that time back when they're younger, and they grow up so quickly. So that really is, something that is a cost of being tired. You might even, miss out on holidays because you don't have the energy, or perhaps you have the energy to travel there on the plane, but when you get there, you're just wiped out and have to stay in and rest and can't really fully enjoy the holiday and go out and see sights. You might also be missing out on exercising because you don't have the energy again. They say we need to exercise 30 minutes 3 times a week at least, but if you don't have the energy to do that, if you try and push yourself to exercise, it's just going to end up crashing and feeling even more tired because your body is struggling as it is. So it's missing out on exercise, which you might enjoy, things like walking, running, yoga, Pilates, going to the gym. And you're also losing out on fitness as well, which obviously you build up over time, but it's something that you need to do regularly to sort of build up muscle. And especially if you're a menopausal woman and your estrogen levels are dropping, then you need to be doing weight-bearing exercises to strengthen your bones to prevent, future diseases such as osteoporosis. And that's something that's really important if you can start doing it. But, so there's so many things that we miss out. And then there's the other end of the spectrum, which is what I've been in. So I like to work with sort of women before they get to that complete burnout stage where they can't get out of bed, because it's much easier to resolve before they're completely wiped out. But I was in that place where I was wiped out. I was working full time on my university placement year. Yeah, this was when I was about 20. And working and studying, not looking after myself, not eating well, walking everywhere and burning myself out, and my body just completely collapsed. Well, I had a trauma, an emotional trauma, and also I was taking antibiotics for my skin, which probably destroyed the good bacteria in my gut. So this is sort of like the straw that broke the camel's back, and I was actually bedbound for the first 6 months of my illness. And then as I got a bit more energy, I was able to, stand up and cook a bit more, maybe come downstairs and sit on the sofa. But yeah, I lost 3 years of my life to chronic fatigue syndrome. I lost friends because I didn't have the energy to see them anymore, and they moved on. I probably lost 3 years of income, because once I would have completed my degree, I would have got a job. Well, possibly maybe 2 years of income, which, say, if there was a guessing about 20,000 estimate, then that would be about £40,000 over the 2 years I would have lost. So that's quite a lot. I think I got disability allowance for a bit. It's called income support allowance. But it's very hard to get through that. You have to fill out so many forms and have so many meetings to get it. And then I think it may have got stopped eventually, and I wasn't getting very much on that. I was just living off my savings, really, and my parents were helping me too. And, also I think I did get a bit, when I was sort of really recovering and trying to get a job again, I got, benefits, job seekers allowance, that's it. But still, it's very little. So I've lost a lot of income and, missed out on social events, holidays and things. So there's so much, you lost so much time out in the world. Although saying that, I did sort of learn a lot when I was ill, because I started reading about health, especially after seeing a naturopathic nutritionist. That's when I really started to recover, learn more about health. So these are things you don't really think about. So I mean, if you're someone who's perhaps over 40 and you're just really struggling with feeling exhausted, perhaps being too tired to do the things you want to do and really enjoy social events, really enjoy time with family and be present, and maybe exercise more, or even doing things like the gardening in the summer and spring, then I would invite you to maybe look at what you're losing by not improving your energy levels. So it can affect so many areas of your life. It can affect your relationships as well, even your relationship with your partner. If you're not having the energy, at the end of the day to talk to them, to spend quality time together, to do things with them, to go on dates and walks, then that could affect your relationship as well. It can put a huge strain on your relationships. Or if they're feeling like there's someone who's sort of supporting you more because you just don't have the energy to do things and they're doing everything, it can even build up a bit of resentment in them. When I was ill, when I was 20, I went back and lived with my parents, and then sort of my mum would cook for me, and because I didn't have the energy. So, you're sort of being dependent on other people. So there's really so much to think about there, and that's why it's so important, if you are feeling too tired to really enjoy your life and do what you want to do, you may want to consider, getting some help. Perhaps it's always probably a good idea to start going to your doctor first, perhaps get a blood test, see if anything is low on there and it picks up on anything, like B vitamins, iron, vitamin D. Although when I had chronic fatigue, I did blood tests and they all came back clear, apart from a positive celiac disease blood test. But then the endoscopy was negative because I had already cut out gluten from my diet by then. But so that's a good place to start. But the doctors, they're sort of limited in what they can do. They can recommend medications, sort of antidepressants and things, but as in my case, it didn't solve the problem. I didn't feel like I was depressed. I was just exhausted because I was determined to get well. Quite motivated to find a solution to my problem. So then I would recommend looking into like holistic practitioners such as a nutritional therapist, such as me, someone who can, really look at your diet, see where you're deficient in vitamins, someone who can go through your symptoms and determine what may be causing your symptoms. I'd also recommend testing to really get to the root cause of your fatigue and tiredness. Nutritional therapists, we can, recommend what foods you need to eat to have more energy, to balance your hormones, have less sort of menopausal symptoms, and to heal your gut, to reduce, bloating and any other sort of symptoms you get in your gut and your tummy, and just help to make sure you're absorbing your nutrients as well, because if you're eating but you're not absorbing the vitamins from the food, then you're going to be malnourished. So it's so important to support digestion as well. So I just want to maybe make you question, what you're missing out on in your life by, not working to have more energy. And if this is something that you're ready to get sorted out, you feel motivated and committed to, make small changes to your diet, possibly take supplements if necessary, to really, have more energy, to do the things you enjoy, to exercise, spend quality time with family and friends, then I invite you to book a 30-minute discovery call with me. I'll put a link in the description below, and if you click there, book a call, then in the call I'll sort of go through your symptoms and I can give you an idea of what might be causing your issues and what sort of next steps to take. And if you did think joining my program would be beneficial, I have a 12-week fatigue fighting program where we go through so many areas of nutrition and lifestyle, and I give you personalised advice to really speed up the process and getting your energy back, so you can really start having a better quality of life, just having more energy to do what you want to be more productive and enjoy life again. So thanks so much for listening, everyone, and I'll be back again next week with more stories about tiredness and fatigue, personal stories and stories from my clients, also busting myths around fatigue and giving some nutrition tips and tips about getting to the root causes of fatigue. So yeah, thanks for listening, and I'll be back soon. So take care, everyone, and if you like this video, hit like so more people can see it, and hit subscribe so you'll get my latest videos popping up in your YouTube subscription with more helpful tips for fatigue. So thanks for listening, everyone, wherever you are. Have a lovely day or night, and I'll be back soon. Bye for now.